Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into something that could be a real game changer for the carbon market, a new quality label. This whole space has been notoriously messy, so let's break down how this new system plans to clean things up. For years, let's be honest, the voluntary carbon market has felt a bit like the Wild West. There are so many different projects, so many standards, and if you're a buyer, you're left asking a really basic question. Is this credit I'm buying legit? Does it actually do what it says it does? That doubt, that lack of trust, has really been holding the whole market back.
So what's the plan to fix this? Well, here's what we're going to cover. We'll start with the new standard itself. Then we'll introduce you to the key players making it happen. We'll get into the nitty-gritty of what makes it credit eligible, walk through how projects get the label, and finally, wrap up with why this matters so much.
All right, let's jump right into the solution. A new global benchmark has been created to cut through all that noise. It's called the Core Carbon Principles, or CCPs, and its whole mission is to bring some serious integrity and clarity to the market.
So what are these CCPs, really? Well, you can think of them as a universal quality stamp. They're not just some random rules. They were built with input from hundreds of different organizations. The goal was to finally create one single, high-integrity standard that everyone, everywhere, can actually trust. It's all about setting a much higher bar for what a good carbon credit should be.
Now, this system doesn't just run itself. There are two main groups making this whole thing work, and they each have a really specific job to do. Let's meet them.
Okay, so on one side you have the ICVCM, the Integrity Council. Think of them as the rule makers. They're the independent body that created the CCB benchmark, and they're the ones who decide which big carbon programs like Verra's are even eligible to use it. And on the other side you have Verra. They run the world's biggest carbon crediting program. Their job is to be the administrator, to actually implement the rules and apply that CCP label to the individual carbon credits that make the cut. So, ICVCM makes the rules, Verra enforces them. Simple as that.
And you should know this isn't just some theory for the future. It is happening right now. The ball got rolling in April 2024 when the ICVCM gave Verra's program the green light. Guidance documents came out after that, with more updates rolling out through 2025. The bottom line is, this system is live and being built out as we speak.
So what does a project have to do to actually earn this new stamp of approval? I mean, what are the specific requirements a carbon credit needs to meet to get a CCP label? Let's take a look.
The checklist is pretty tough, as it should be. First, a project has to use a methodology, that's basically the rulebook for that project type, that the ICVCM has already approved. Then they have to prove in all their reporting that they meet every single one of the ICVCM's criteria. And they can't just say they do. A third-party auditor, called a VVB, has to come in and verify everything. And get this, the standards are so thorough that even credits that were already used and retired can go back and get the label, as long as they can prove they met the criteria.
Okay, so let's say a project has done all the hard work, and it meets all the criteria. What happens next? Let's walk through the actual step-by-step process of getting that official CCP label.
It's a pretty clear 5-step process. It all starts with that independent auditor, the VVB, giving the project a thumbs up. Once that's done, the project can officially request the label from Verra. Then, Verra steps in to assess the request, double-checking the auditor's work before giving the final approval. And boom, the label gets applied and shows up on the public registry so everyone can see that these credits are CCP approved.
Now, to make things a little more efficient, Verra also has a kind of fast-track option. If a project's data is super clear from the get-go and obviously meets all the requirements, Verra can just go ahead and automatically apply the label. It just helps streamline the whole thing.
So we've gone through the what and the how, but that brings us to the most important question of all. Why does this even matter? Why should buyers, sellers, or anyone just watching the carbon market care about this new label?
I think this quote from Verra's own playbook really hits the nail on the head. This isn't just another sticker or certification. The entire point is to create the global benchmark. It's a huge effort to get everyone, all over the world, on the same page about what high integrity actually means.
When you boil it all down, the CCP label is trying to fix the market's 3 biggest, oldest problems. Number 1, increase trust, so buyers can actually have confidence in what they're buying. Number 2, improve transparency, by making sure all the information is out in the open. And number 3, standardize quality, so that a high-quality credit from Brazil means the exact same thing as one from Indonesia.
And that really brings us to the bottom line here. In a super complex market, the CCP label is designed to be a simple, clear signal of quality. It helps everyone identify the good stuff. For companies buying credits, it means way less risk to their reputation. For projects selling credits, it could mean better prices and more investment. It's a tool that's meant to build a stronger, more reliable market for everyone.
Which, of course, leads us to the big million-dollar question. Is this it? Is this the thing that will finally bring some real stability and trust to the voluntary carbon market? The framework is here, the pieces are moving, and believe me, the entire industry is watching very, very closely. I guess only time will tell if it truly works.